I'm here to talk about how that Venus is going to disappear into the sun rays by September 25th on into October, when the sun goes into Scorpio especially. Venus will be disappearing into the sun's rays. And, you know, I don't have an issue with this too much because, I mean, I have to look this up, but I think I was born with a disappeared Venus. It's called a disappeared Venus. And I don't see how it could be a bad thing. It's just something that's there that is like, maybe it's um, less common. And if you look at what's less common, intelligence is less common. You know, the real thing is less common. So it's not a bad thing. What's bad is stupid stuff. And that's the most common thing. We have a lot of bad shit happening. We don't need it. Anyway, getting back to how Venus is going to disappear into the sun's rays by the 25th of that was just an accident, by the way. I have something. Pretty soon Neptune is going to be going over my ascendant. It's going to stop messing with my Venus, and then if I don't have it down by now, as far as this how all of the universe is going to start working with me as an artist, and I'm going to be the most mesmerizing fucking thing that you have ever experienced in your entire life. Somebody who has Venus in Virgo 10 degrees away from the sun. But I think, see, I'm in the middle of finding out what professional astrologers are saying technically when the Venus is considered having disappeared into the sun's rays. They are giving it a 6-degree orb, whereas my Venus is 10 degrees away from the sun. Yay! It's not disappeared. No, I know that you can't see the sun when it's even 10 degrees. I know that the sun, if you're a good astrologer, you give the sun a 10-degree orb easily. Orb. Let me turn off the noise-making machine. As far as when it starts aspecting other planets and you start blending in meaning. So when Venus disappears for humanity, it's a different thing. You know, she kind of like strips her clothes off. Oops. She goes through a complete. She's visiting the father, the son, and it's like disrobed, and she's chained up, and then they're punching her, and whipping. It's a terrible scene. You're not going to make much money. Some things might just die. Old relationships that don't work are just going to fizzle out. Um, Old businesses, markets are going to crash. Check this out. Just no money, no fun, no love. Venus disappeared. She is going to be in Scorpio when this happens. That's why it's going to be a double whammy, let alone that we are moving into an eclipse season again. It's the Taurus Scorpio eclipse season, and I already have a video of that. I'll put that right here. And I don't know what else I'm going to say about it except for Venus is going to disappear. And there's a lot of other stuff happening in the sky that kind of begins to give deeper meaning to when Venus disappears into the sun's rays. All planets go through their conjuncting the sun. I see it as that whoever is born with Venus conjunct sun, which that's what I have, and I know a couple other people have that, they just have an affinity or love for their what that sign represents, whatever it's in. Well, mine happens to be, well, see, it's not too absorbed because I have a sun in Libra at 3, and then I have the 23 degrees of Virgo. It's 3 degrees away, but my sun switches sign. I know somebody with a Gemini Venus conjunct, like 1 degree away. Talk about a disappeared Venus, babe. Study it, man. I can't tell you anything right now, but um, it's pretty trippy. In Gemini, it's a concentration of a love for um, knowledge. I guess you could say the mind in a certain way is a big issue. Love behind it. Really, this person likes intelligent women, you would say, and if the Venus has disappeared into the sun of Gemini, then they're going to identify with all of that. Somehow they're going to, I imagine anybody with the sun conjunct Venus, they identify with the feminine a lot. It just infuses. And if you're a man, you probably have an affinity for women. I'm a woman, and I do have an affinity for women. I have an affinity. See, if Venus is conjunct your sun, you have an affinity for beautiful things. You just have ambition to go there. That's your sun. And me being it like in Virgo and Libra, it is about relationships and analyzing and looking at this information, and getting the harvesting what is nourishing out of it. And I'm kind of trippy. Some people who have really observed me, my work and the way I start refining things and getting things and going, look, and holding up all of these jewels, and they're just being thrown out into a mind dump by 9:30 a.m. And by that time, I'm letting the practical concerns take over my mind, like, Bill,